Over the past month and a half, news coverage across the world has moved almost completely to covering the pandemic. But how are we as journalists doing covering it in Nebraska? Reporter Phil Bergman decided to hop on Zoom and join Professor Barney McCoy's beginning reporting class at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln.
A quick show of hands. How many of you would say you've been watching more news over the past 2 months? And how many would say they're watching as much or less news over the past 2 months?
What is your thoughts on how the coverage has been in Nebraska of coronavirus?
A lot of people really need and really feed off of that more local and that more tight-knit information. So I think as a state, we've done a great job of making sure that we're prioritizing that information.
There are so many cases that it's really easy for these statistics to just feel like numbers instead of realizing that they're actual people with actual lives that are being affected. So I would even like to see more of that in the news coverage locally.
As TV reporters, as print reporters, as radio people in Nebraska improve.
What I'd like to see more is the amount of recoveries, because I really think that attributes the work that medical professionals are putting in every day.
Say the recoveries aren't being counted. I would really like to know why, because I know some states are doing it, some places are doing it. So if Nebraska's not doing it, I would like to know the answers behind that, and that is something I haven't been able to find.
Have you guys enjoyed the governor's daily press conferences? Do you think it's informative to have the governors of both Nebraska and Iowa talking every day?
There's so much changing, and this is all new to everybody, and there's so many developments in the news that it's good to have these press conferences every day that we can hear what's new and what's going on.
I'm watching the ones from Governor Reynolds, and I think it's important for basically all governors to keep their citizens updated.
How are you guys consuming the news?
I like to use Google News, where it kind of congregates all the different news sources into one place.
And I do kind of look at the broadcast news at 6 o'clock sometimes with my family.
Instagram.
I find myself using Twitter a lot more, especially a lot more than I used to.
With news articles, it takes time to write, time to edit, time to post. But with Twitter, it's pretty much instantly whoever's the news anchor or whoever's working on their reports, whatever, can send that out.
A lot of people right now say that the news is depressing. As journalism students, what do you think should be the balance between reporting on facts, which right now tend to be depressing, and also bringing positive stories to the viewer, reader, or consumer?
There are so many interesting ways that people are innovating or people are coming together as communities to kind of raise the spirits of the community's members.
I think by interweaving those personal stories like they've done here in Georgia into the broadcast as much as they can, I think that's probably the best balance that we could have.
These stories that you guys are mentioning, what is it about these stories that make you feel good inside during this time?
For me, it portrays a lot of hope that better days are coming, and that hopefully this all won't it won't forever be like this.
Before you see good stories happening, but you wouldn't see them as much as you do now with all this going on. So it's good to see that these companies are going out of their way to help when they can.
I agree that hope is very important. If you want to hear more of what those students had to say, the whole class is available as a web extra on our website, 3newsnow.com.